Part 27. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 264. What do you want? Troy suddenly turned around, as if he was about to lose everything. Uchiha-fan looked around, his eyes indescribably gloomy. He lowered his voice and suddenly said, "If you dare to invade our Konoha, of course I will kill you all here." Okay, cruel enough, this is very Uchiha. Hinata Hikaru liked Uchiha-fan's idea. But Uchiha-fan is too young after all. This mission is sea level, and sea level ninjas will not fight against each other. So, what should I do if I encounter a ninja in a sea level mission? Of course, it's a good luck to smear the solace of your feet. Then, go back to the village and report to Mito Minoyan, who will send more awesome ninjas to suppress the situation. This is normal operating procedure. What Hinata did was actually a violation of the regulations. At that time, it will be easy for some thoughtful people to label it as a great success and take advantage of the opportunity. It would be okay if the Hyagalite group destroyed the opponent. In case the group is not destroyed, or the group may be destroyed, but our own rich and powerful second generations will suffer heavy losses. At that time, Hinata Hikaru will be surrounded by n number of family forces who are trying to make things difficult for him. After all, the purpose of this time is to let the second generation of his family come out to experience, not to risk death with others. This is the essence of why this mission is defined as sea level. Hinata Hikaru is not stupid and will not jump into the trap foolishly. Cough cough. If Hinata Hikaru understands, then Shikanara understands even more. He coughed, stepped forward and grabbed Uchiha-fan, motioning him to go aside to talk. Although Uchiha-fan was a little confused, he still followed Narashizen to the side. From here, it can be seen that Hinata Hikaru's IQ is higher than Uchiha-fan. After Narashizen explained to Uchiha-fan, the corners of Uchiha-fan's mouth immediately twitched. And Hinata Hikaru didn't need to look back to know that Uchiha-fan was eager to find a hole to put himself in. If you don't understand anything, don't come out and pretend. But there is no way. The Uchiha clan has been like this since ancient times. Their political methods and consciousness are inferior to others. If politics had a hierarchy, then the Uchiha clan must be born with a political attribute of E level, which is the lowest level. After hearing the harsh words uttered by Uchiha-fan, the situation suddenly became tense. Even if these genin of Kyomagakure village lost their momentum before, it doesn't mean that they have to wait for death. People are often most dangerous when they are desperate. Hinata Hikari didn't want to lose a head to a bunch of naughty kids behind him. Actually, this leader is very easy to negotiate. The expression on Hinata Hikaru's little face changed, taking on an innocent look. "I believe you, you big-headed idiot." It was clearly written on Troy's face. The others did not speak and continued to watch the conversation between the two. Quack, hand over the taijutsu you just used, heavy flow storm and you can go. Hinata Hikari stretched out his hand with a smile on his face. Silence, the whole place suddenly became extremely silent. The genin of Kyomagakure village widened their eyes and looked at Hinata Hikari in disbelief. What is she saying? The people in Hidden Cloud village don't understand, but the people in Konoha understand. Everyone in Konoha gasped and thought, this Hinata Hikari is indeed as rumored. Yanguo plucks hair, very ruthlessly. After offending her, it is impossible to leave without giving her some benefits. Countless unlucky people have confirmed this with their own experiences of being cheated. Hum hum. Troy suddenly sneered. His eyes were full of disdain. Laugh at your sister. Hinata's figure flashed. Snapped. Troy's cheek shook, and then, there was another red mark on it. Humiliation, naked humiliation. Troy's expression gradually changed from twitching to furious. Try hitting me again. Snapped. Troy's head moved to the other side again. All right. He nodded calmly. No need to try. The neurotic girl in front of me, her brain circuit is completely different from that of a normal person, Troy, it's really hard to describe. Gaga, hand over Kongliubao. Hinata put her little hands behind her back and looked up at the tall Troy with a small face. Huh, dream, I will never hand over the heavy sex. Troy shook his head. Although the heavy flow storm is not a difficult move, it is at least a technique that belongs to Union Village. Why should he be handed over to a psychopathic girl from the hostile Konoha hidden village? Don't say it, right? Hinata Hikari took out a kunao and stabbed it into Troy's thigh with a sharp thrust. Everyone. Troy stared blankly at his thigh that started to bleed for a long time before he screamed. Oh, ah ah ah, ah ah ah. After screaming twice in pain, Troy actually held back. He had an expression that said, "Kill me if you can." He obviously wanted to be a tough guy to the end. This leader will give you 10 seconds. If you say it within 10 seconds, you will be released. 10, 9, 8. Hinata started counting nervously. Everyone on both sides looked at each other, not knowing how to complain at all. 6, 5. Hinata counted to 5, but Troy closed his eyes, looking ready to die. Suddenly, Hinata stopped. She turned her head and looked at everyone in Union Village. Why don't you leave yet? You have nothing to do here, hurry up, it's an eyesore. Hinata waved her little hand as if to disperse. She seemed to have no idea about the genin of Kyomagakure village. Oh shit, it turns out it has nothing to do with us. The genin of Kyomagakure village looked at each other and whispered something. After that, a genin came forward and whispered, "Captain Troy, we will avenge you." After he finished speaking, he gritted his teeth, turned around and ran away. Although he can't beat Hinata Hikaru now, but there will be many opportunities in the future. The other Kyomagakure genin took one last look at Troy, and at their leader, who sang generously. Ah, Captain Troy, you will always live in our hearts. Soon, all the genin in Union Village ran away. Everyone in Konoha stared at the scene in stunned silence. These guys actually left their companions and ran away. This is the cultural difference. Narashika 13 was also shocked, but after the shock, he immediately reacted. In this scene, if it were a ninja from Konoha hidden village, he would never give up on his companions. If they were replaced by the ruthless Kirigakure ninjas, they would think about how to find opportunities to kill their opponents before their colleagues died. I can't tell which one is higher or lower, everything is just a difference in customs and inheritance of will. The ninjas of Hidden Cloud Village are the most realistic. They will neither cruelly ignore their companions, nor will they be obsessed with getting a happy ending without making sacrifices. According to their thinking, the best strategy at present is to retreat as a whole, sacrificing Troy alone, in exchange for the chance of survival for all team members. Just like in the original work, the Sandaime Raikage took the initiative to rear and let all his subordinates escape. They choose what they think is the right choice. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 265. At this time, even Troy didn't think he could save anything anymore. But he is worthy of being a ninja of Hidden Cloud Village. Although he was reluctantly abandoned by his companions, Troy did not show any dissatisfaction. Instead, it looked like "I want to take the rear," and Hinata Hikaru had the look of "you coming towards me." Really strong-willed. Good. Hinata admired Troy very much, so she stabbed him again. What? Troy screamed in pain and fell to the ground in an instant. This time it was better, both his legs were pricked. This wasn't the end yet. Hinata Hikari shook her little hand and took out a needle, Kanben, from nowhere. I saw Hikaru Hinata holding 1,000 books and stabbing Troy in the back. Do you want to tell me? If you don't tell me, today I will let you know what Grandma Rong's acupuncture technique is. Everyone in Konoha was so shocked that they could not speak. They saw Troy being struck by the light and rolling around on the ground like his grandson. I say. In the end, the ironclad Troy still couldn't escape the law of true fragrance. I have no choice but to tell you how to practice Chonglubao. Including how to adjust your posture and focus your strength on your elbows. But Hinata Hikaru said that Troy must be hiding something secret. The latter looked full of grief and anger, almost wanting to cry. What I told you about Hinata Hikari's cultivation method is true. Why do you think you're forcing me to teach you step by step? 5 minutes later. That's right, that's it, the arms are a little higher. Troy was limping with both legs and was instructing Hikari on how to practice heavy flow. A little higher, when striking an enemy, never hit the abdomen, hit the head, preferably the head. Why? Hinata Hikari, who was maintaining the elbow movement, blinked curiously. Because if he eats breakfast or something, he will vomit all over you, Troy emphasized. Oh. Hinata Hikaru suddenly realized. Everyone watched the whole process speechlessly. Thank you. Hinata Hikari smiled and thanked Troy. You're welcome. It's friendly and helpful, Troy smiled. Afterwards, Yesong tied Troy up with spider silk. Oh, this is not important, Hinata Hikaru, there is no such thing. Circle after circle, finally, Troy was tied into a rice dumpling and hung on the tree trunk. Okay, let's all follow my leader to Kong Kong, that's what the Union Village group is looking for. Hinata waved his sleeves and took away not a single cloud. Everyone in Konoha looked at Hinata Hikaru's back with great admiration. Once upon a time, Hikaru Hyuga was the shame of the Hyuga clan, but now, he has become the strongest genin of the younger generation. Refining ninja tools, casually beating up Troy, driving away everyone in Union Village, robbing Union Village's secret physical skills. They are lying if they say in their hearts that they are not envious. Such a glorious life and experience, they also want to have it. Facing the scorching gazes coming from behind, Hinata Hikaru smiled on his little face and tried to suppress his excitement. Quack, this leader is so outstanding, such a great guy. Hinata Hikaru accepted all the admiration for everyone without any ceremony. Everyone stepped forward and quickly followed Hinata. Hello, is there anyone? Hey, are you still here? I'll treat you to Union stuffed fried rice. Poor Troy, no one cares about him at all. This leader has obtained a new physical technique. Hinata Hikari has always been thinking about the various physical skills of Union Village. In his previous life, he fell into a catastrophe before he could obtain them. And in this life, this regret was finally made up for. But we still need to keep up our efforts. There are definitely more than just this kind of secret physical skills in Union Village. If there is a chance in the future, Hinata Hikaru will acquire more physical skills. When Hinata Hikaru was thinking about these things, someone behind him was confused. Since Hikaru Hinata can defeat Troy, why not deal with those weak scum together? Yes, why let them go? Quack. Hinata smiled and said nothing. Because, you guys are too good. Senju Uto sighed and answered his doubts. If the other party is defeated, there will definitely be casualties on our side during the counterattack. You all have a distinguished status. If something goes wrong, that's it for Senju Uto. But everyone who was originally high-spirited suddenly felt deeply ashamed. It turned out that they were the ones who dragged down Hinata Hikari. Hinata was only concerned about their safety, so he let go of the dozen genin of Kumagakura village. If they weren't here, Hinata Hikari would have cleared away those people together with Troy. It's a lie to ask Troy for taijutsu, It's true to be able to drive away the opponent without losing any blood. The ninjas in Cloud Hidden Village have different ideas from us Konoha ninjas. Hyuga Optical, my sister, took full advantage of their psychology and persuaded them to retreat. Senju Uto continued to explain. Everyone suddenly realized. In an instant, Hinata's figure became much taller and majestic. But even so, isn't it enough to kill Troy alone? The Union Village invaded our country, should we let them go like this? Uchiha Yafan snorted, obviously disapproving. His extreme degree is very Uchiha. Senju Uto was about to explain. Hinata Hikari turned his head and looked at Uchiha Yafan. This kid is talking nonsense. Do you know why this leader doesn't kill Troy? Uchiha Yafan naturally didn't know. Because I am happy. Hinata smiled. Uchiha Yafan was stunned and speechless. Money can't buy this leader's happiness. Hinata Hikaru told Uchiha Yafan to shut up completely when he said that the leader was happy. You see, if you want to find faults, there are always unscrupulous people who can find faults with this leader. Hinata whispered. Some people just want to take advantage of the topic, slap her in a bad light, or belittle her. If they don't, it will make her uncomfortable. If you are not jealous, you are mediocre. Who makes me so outstanding? Hinata Hikari passed by Uchiha Yafan with her little hands behind her back. The light words reached Uchiha Yafan's ears, making him grit his teeth. This Hinata Hikaru is clearly saying that he is jealous of her, so he is looking for trouble. So, am I really jealous of her? Yes, I am indeed jealous of her. Jealous that she has a blood inheritance limit no less than the Sharingan. Jealous that she can refine ninja tools. Jealous of her domineering power. He was jealous that she was so popular, completely different from him, a bad Uchiha who was born evil. The team began to move forward again, and Uchiha Yafan silently clenched his fists, his arms trembled and his knuckles turned white. Evan, are you okay? Narashizen walked slowly to Uchiha Yafan and patted his friend on the shoulder. I'm fine. Uchiha Yafan shook his head, lowered his head, and followed the team. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 266. As everyone walked down the mountain rocks, they were not thinking about what the genin of Hidden Cloud Village were looking for, but the various performances of Hinata Hikaru before. The team's whispered discussions also revolved around Hinata Hikari. From time to time, someone would touch the ninja tool specially refined by Hinata Hikari in the ninja tool bag. Very likely. After they return to the village this time, Hinata's status will undergo earth-shaking changes. I am afraid. She will change from an ordinary Hyuga girl to a hot and popular one. After all, the ability to refine ninja tools is unbelievable. At least, he will be a special and useful talent. Hyuga Hikaru girl, my admiration for you is like a torrential river, endless. Along the way, Senju Uto was eloquent and began to brag about Hinata Hikari's great achievements. Those who have some and those who don't are all raised. It really brings shame on the Thousand Hands clan. Everyone despised Senju Uto. Even if Hikaru Hinata is indeed outstanding, isn't it too obvious for you to do this? Stupid guy. Senju Uto cursed secretly. Times make heroes. These guys don't understand. In ninja novels, no matter how bad a family is, they will eventually fall into decline. Are the Senju clan strong? It is really strong. What about the Senju of the forest, the clan of Senju Hashirama, the clan of the second Hokage Senju Tobirama, and so on? Is that useful? Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama were both freezing. People need to take a long-term view. Senju Yuoto shook his head and looked down upon the others. Of course, no one can live forever, but the era where Senju Yuoto lives will at least be the era of the rise of Hyuga Hikaru. In this day and age, hold on to those thighs. Hikaru Hinata looks like the son of fate and the protagonist who saves the world described in ninja novels. If you don't hug her thigh, who will? The Senju clan has only one Senju Tsunade in the contemporary era. But no matter how powerful Tsunade is, she is still only an elite jounin at the moment. As for Senju Hashirama, at Tsunade's age, he had already been able to open the wood Gundam in seconds. Not on the same level at all. From the side, the Thousand Hands clan is indeed weakened. Senju Yuoto is not living in the glory of the past. If you fall behind, you have to admit it. There is nothing shameful about it. As the saying goes, 30 years in the east of Hidong, 30 years in the west of Hexi. Maybe, by then the Uchiha clan and the Senju clan will be finished, and the Hyuga clan will finally rise. Very likely. Yuoto Senju has a sense of crisis. After bragging for a while longer, he stopped. At this time, everyone also came to the valley. When I looked down from the hilly area on the top of the mountain, I didn't feel anything. When I got here, I felt the wind blowing and the temperature was very cold. Moreover, the valley below was not as flat as they imagined. Ahead, there was even a darker and deeper crack, extending to an unknown depth underground. It makes people tremble all over just looking at it. I'm going to relieve myself. Behind the team, Uchiha Yefan suddenly whispered that he was going to relieve himself. Everyone nodded and let him go. Hinata is looking forward, observing with far-sighted eyes. What exactly is it worth sending a lot of people from Union Village to find out? This thing is full of weirdness. As we all know, the outbreak of the Second Ninja World War caused many countries and ninja villages to join the fight. Whether active or passive. Among them, the conflicts among the 5 major countries are the most intense. The land beneath Hinata's feet connects the border of the Fire Country. A few hours further north is Konohagakure's defense line against Kyomagakure. On the one hand, beware of Shimogakure and its ally Kirigakure causing trouble. On the one hand, it is mainly the large forces in Kyomagakure village, and the large forces led by the Third Raikage are the most troublesome. There are no major conflicts between the two sides, but there are quite a few minor conflicts. Because Kyomagakure village crosses the country of Yu, they also have to face the ninjas of Iwagakure village at the same time. To the south of Union village, we have to face Kirigakure village coming from the sea. Union village is 1 against 3, which is enough for them to keep busy. So, why did they come all the way to this land and what would be here? Uchiha Yefan came to a rock behind the team and looked nervously at a tree growing out of the ground. Soon, there was movement in the tree. A guy who looked like a white vegetative man emerged from the trees, but the other half of his face and body were strangely black. This reed plant man who came out is none other than. It's Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. What are you doing here? There are 2 ninjas from the Hyuga clan in the team. What if they find out? Uchiha Yefan looked very nervous. Don't be nervous, Uchiha Yefan. Yeah, don't be nervous. Heizetsu had a hoarse voice and a calm look on his face. And Baizetsu who always seems to be giggling. The 2 of us have discovered something that will be very useful to Madara-sama. Heiju grinned, half smiling, and that weird black face made Uchiha Yefan feel uncomfortable for a while. Yes, it is very useful to Madara. Baiju agreed. Madara is the pronunciation of spot. If you have anything to say, please tell me quickly, Uchiha Yefan said impatiently. Baiju's mood didn't change much, but Heiju sneered inwardly. Just a chess piece, an arrogant chess piece. Something happened on the battlefield in the north. Heiju began to talk. Soon, Uchiha Yafan's expression changed drastically. So, this is the reason why those Kyomagaku or village genin came. He, their original mission was not to find that thing. Black Jew sneered. But the group of Umbu from Kyomoyan village were intercepted by Konoha White Fang on the way. The two gangs fought fiercely. Therefore, the group of Kyomagaku or village genin took over the duties of Kyomagaku or village Umbu. Konoha White Fang is so powerful, White Zetsu exclaimed. If it weren't for Heitake Sakumo, the Umbu of Kyomagaku or village wouldn't have asked those genin to carry out the mission. That thing is useful to Madara-sama, don't let anyone else get it. After Black Zetsu finished speaking, he began to dive from the trees. Until it slowly disappears. Goodbye, Uchiha Yafan. The heartless Baiju said hello to Uchiha Yafan before leaving. Uchiha Yafan had a solemn look on his face, and at the same time, several thoughts flashed through his mind. But in the end, he gritted his teeth and decided what he should do. Hey Zetsu, why don't we just recycle that thing? Underground, White Zetsu and Black Zetsu are sneaking around. With the help of plant roots, they can travel quickly. Of course it is to test Uchiha Yafan's determination. It can also be said to be the awareness of being a chess piece. Uchiha Madara wants to use Uchiha Yafan. And this time, it can be used to test whether Uchiha Yafan is really willing to join their side. Uchiha Madara's plan was grand. Therefore, chess pieces are needed, useful chess pieces. They need to lead Uchiha Yafan's body and mind step by step into the abyss of darkness. Then let us watch from the sidelines. Baiju slowly broke through the ground and dived into a tree again. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 267. I never expected that something like this would happen. Uchiha Yafan clenched his fists, the thoughts in his heart were extremely complicated. At this moment, he was going through a difficult ideological struggle in his heart. In the end, should we return that thing to its original owner, or bring it to Madara Uchiha? On one side are the clan members, on the other side is the last leader of the Uchiha clan who defected but saved him. Uchiha Yafan was a little hesitant. Alas! Hinata, who had been patrolling with his white eyes, seemed to see something in the misty, dark canyon in the distance. So, she turned around and ordered. The terrain ahead is very dangerous, please stay here and don't move. I, the leader, will go to Kong first. Hikari-san, be careful. Namikaze Minato did not stop her, but warned her to be careful and safe. Okay, this leader knows. As soon as Hinata finished speaking, he jumped towards the rocks in front of him, moving forward in this extremely dangerous canyon where it was very possible to fall into the abyss. At this time, the frowning Yesong opened his eyes and moved his fingers imperceptibly. Everyone was watching Hinata, so no one noticed what he was doing. After hearing this, everyone nodded and retreated. Looking down from here, it seems like the entrance to the abyss. I'm afraid, if you are not careful, you will fall. When they watched the dexterous figure of Hinata gradually disappearing, Uchiha Yafan couldn't sit still. Damn that Hinata Hikari, he actually discovered it first. Damn it, is this the convenience of the Hyuga clan's white eyes? Uchiha Yafan stared at Hinata's back, gritted his teeth, and subconsciously touched his right arm with his left hand. No. I have to get that thing first, when the time comes, whether it's for the tribe or for Uchiha Madara, it's my choice. Although he heard Black Zetsu and White Zetsu talk about this matter, Uchiha Yafan didn't expect that Hinata Hikari seemed to be lucky enough to meet him just by looking around. If it falls into the hands of that Hyuga Hikaru, we will be in trouble. She will definitely hand it over to the top management of Konoha. When the time comes, it will be the Uchiha clan that owes her a favor. Damn it, I have to recover it before she discovers it. As long as I seal it with a sealing scroll, she won't be able to see through it even if she has the Byakugan. When Uchiha Yafan thought of this, he jumped up and jumped quickly on the rocks standing in the abyss along the path Hinata Hikaru had taken before. Hey Uchiha Yafan! Behind him, everyone screamed in surprise. What's going on with this Uchiha Yafan? Don't you know that Hinata Hikaru told him not to go there? If he falls into the abyss and dies, let him be. Senju Uto slowly stopped everyone. Everyone was naturally puzzled. The Uchiha clan always makes trouble for Hinata Hikari. I'm afraid, this time they are unwilling to admit defeat. Everyone suddenly realized. It's the competitive mentality that's coming back. But, it's more than that. Senju Uto raised the corner of his mouth and looked at the backs of the two people in the distance. There are always people from the Uchiha clan who want to compete with Hinata Hikari for the leading role. So, let us take a look at who is the protagonist with real luck. Senju Uto, who was severely poisoned by ninja novels, was thinking about something else. The sun is moving forward. But she soon discovered that the guy appearing behind her was Uchiha Yafan. Looking back, Uchiha Yafan was approaching at a terrifying speed. This kid, forget it, let him go. Hinata continued to look back and continued to move towards the discovered target location calmly. Uchiha Yafan followed closely behind Hinata Hikari. In this mist-shrouded canyon, if you want to accurately locate your position, you still have to rely on your white eyes. Therefore, Uchiha Yafan had to keep up with her no matter what. Soon, Hinata stopped on a flat rock. This was her target. It is also what the ninjas of Hidden Cloud Village want to find. A corpse. But this body was anything but ordinary. It has every reason to drive the entire ninja village of Kyomagakure village crazy. Hinata bent down slightly and stared at the body embroidered with a fan pattern. He is a ninja from the Uchiha clan. Hinata Hikari didn't know that this unlucky guy got separated from others on the battlefield, was chased and intercepted all the way, and finally had no way out and jumped off a cliff. Or he was on a secret mission and the incident came to light, and he escaped all the way. Unfortunately, he is still dead. One eye was destroyed and the other lost its luster but was still intact. Hinata Hikaru speculated that this guy first destroyed one of his eyes when he jumped off a cliff or lost his footing, and then tried to destroy the other one, but he had no energy left. Or maybe it was destroyed by the enemy. Because judging from the other injuries on his body, it was obvious that he had been seriously injured before his death. The additional wounds from falling off a cliff are just the icing on the cake. In this world, the treasures of heaven and earth are not just tailed beasts. The remains of ninjas will also be included. Generally speaking, as a Konoha ninja, Hinata Hikaru is obliged to recover it and finally return it to the Uchiha clan. And that's what she was planning to do. In any case, the Uchiha in front of him was a ninja of Konoha, and died because of the war or mission. He fulfilled his obligations as a Konoha ninja. Rest in peace. Hinata sighed. Then, he turned around and looked at Uchiha Yafan who was chasing him. Since Uchiha Yafan ran over, then, Hinata Hikaru would naturally give up and let Uchiha Yafan handle the body. Uchiha Yafan, who stopped, had many thoughts in his heart. He even thought that Hinata Hikari might kill someone to seize the treasure, and fought with him to snatch the Sharingan from the body. But he thought too much. Hinata just stood aside quietly, as if waiting for him to make a move. Uchiha Yafan stretched out his hand in confusion and pointed at the Uchiha clan member. I want to recover my eyes first. Actually it's because he just wants eyes. After that, Uchiha Yafan got bloody items. Sharingan, get. Uchiha Yafan was ecstatic in his heart. This is the treasure of the Uchiha clan. After that, Uchiha Yafan was ready to close his eyes. Of course, during this process, he had been wary of Hinata Hikaru, fearing that Hikari would kill someone and seize the treasure. Just then, Hinata Hikari's expression was stunned for a moment. Well, what happened? Boom. The next moment, an extremely terrifying and sharp aura fell from the sky. Drink. An astonishing roar, coupled with the strength that even Hinata Hikaru had to run away. Some great power has come. Half of the hair is white and half of the hair is dark green. There are cyan tattoos around his right eye. From the neck down to the neck, everything was wrapped in bandages. Of course, the most eye-catching thing is the crackling and flashing on his sword blade, the terrifying flow of chakra that makes people go to hell at a glance. The pursuer from Cloud Hidden Village, the current 8 Tails Jinhuriki, the B of this term, Byubi Blue B Ginseng. Laugh. Electric light flickers. An arm suddenly flew into the sky. The blow from the shadow-level powerhouse cut off Uchiha Yafan's arm in an instant. At this moment, Uchiha Yafan looked horrified, while Hinata Hikari was dumbfounded. The two genin, no matter how strong they couldn't react to the attack of a strong cage-level warrior. Everything happened between lightning and flint. Byubi wanted to crush Uchiha Yafan to death, it was as easy as crushing a small insect to death. But the problem is... Hinata Hikaru blinked, what kind of unfolding duck is this? If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 268. Uchiha Yafan's severed arm flew into the air. At this moment, everything seemed to be in slow motion. From the severed arm, something like white snot seemed to be spilled. So good. Hinata curled her lips in disgust. I'm afraid, this is also the secret of Uchiha Yafan's Kirin arm. Hinata Hikaru has long noticed something unusual about Uchiha Yafan's right arm. Of course, she is also following the virtues of the Hyuga clan. That is, the Hyuga clan knows everything, but they just don't tell. The Bizetsu arm transplanted by Uchiha Madara flew into the sky, which did not cause Uchiha Yafan to feel much pain. Because it wasn't his arm in the first place. But the problem is... right round eyes. Uchiha Yafan watched helplessly as the Sharingan flew up into the sky with his arm. And Byubi, the terrifying shadow-level strongman, didn't even look at Uchiha Yafan after cutting off his arm, as if Uchiha Yafan was a hot chick. Byubi turned around and jumped towards the sky, intending to snatch the Sharingan. Everything is nothing compared to the Sharingan. Obtaining the Uchiha clan's treasure is the most important thing. This is also the reason why even he was dispatched when the Sandaime Raikage was in an emergency. In the distance, everyone was stunned. Senju Uto was dumbfounded. Sarutobi Ryo, Hinata Xiao and others were also stunned. Namikaze Minato and Nosatsu were also stunned. No one knows what the hell this is. In the flash of lightning, Uchiha Yafan was half cold. It was obvious that this man who suddenly fell from the sky was terrifyingly powerful. Even Minato Namikaze, who is known as the best reflex ninja in the world, could only see his movements clearly. Just because you see it clearly doesn't mean you can react. In front of shadow-level experts, even elite jounin are just ants. Although too many ants can kill an elephant, at least. Now Hinata Hikari and others have no choice. His target is the Sharingan. Hinata Hikaru suddenly realized. If I had just obtained it, I would probably be the one who became the Condor hero. I'm afraid no one would have thought of such a change. And a shadow-level powerhouse moves too fast. There's no way to dodge it. So here comes the question, may I ask? Just after I came out of the novice village, I encountered a boss that surpassed more than 95% of the levels in this world. What should I do? Wait online. Urgent. By the way, I want to ask for the psychological shadow area of Uchiha Fan. So, why not ask about the magical Namikaze conch? That is. Namikaze Minato's eyes instantly lit up. He, who has the best reflexes in the ninja world, was the first to see the savior. A figure whose speed was no less than Byubi's was running rapidly from a distance. Because the speed is so fast, it looks like it is flying. After a few ups and downs, the figure flashing with arcs of electricity instantly intercepted Hubby. Kakaka. Above the canyon, sparks were seen disintegrating. After several fights, Byubi and the other visitor each stayed steadily in front of everyone. The speed of their fight was so fast that everyone only saw two after images. Hinata opened her Byakugan, taking in the scene just now. At this moment, her long-lost calm mood was broken and turned into excitement. Quack, it's the immortal creature Heitake Hirohiko. The person who came was none other than Heitake Sakumo, known as Konoha White Fang. He had random silver hair and a white fang dagger shining with white light in his hand. Coupled with that easygoing yet fierce attitude, the shadow-level powerhouse from Konoha appears. According to legend, Konoha White Fang's appearance has been no different since he was 14 years old than he is now 24 years old. In the future, Heitake Sakumo's appearance will not change. Therefore, he is also called the immortal creature Heitake Hirohiko. Well, it's Heitake Sakumo. Heitake Sakumo, who has the same ma habit as Kakashi, but is actually much gentler, is an easy person to get along with. He turned around and corrected Hinata's mistake. But is he really so famous? Even a little girl from the Hyuga clan knows about him. Heitake Sakumo thought for a while. He seemed to have never seen Hinata Hikari. What Heitake Sakumo doesn't know is, he didn't know Hinata, but Hinata knew him. In his previous life, Hikari's thunder escape was taught by Heitake Sakumo himself. There is a very deep connection between them. The nickname Eternal Creature is also one of Hinata's props to tease Heitake Sakumo. Heitake Sakumo, who has old wrinkles on his cheeks when he smiles, doesn't know that Hinata Hikaru is teasing him about premature aging. Konoha White Fang. Because of the failure to snatch the Sharingan, Byubi's mood became very bad. Of course, this does not mean that Heitake Sakumo will succeed. At this time, Uchiha Fan's arm was still floating in the air. The two had just fought for a while, but no one succeeded. Take him and leave quickly. Heitake Sakumo instructed. When he saw Uchiha Fan's broken arm, there was a hint of haze in his eyes. Well, I'll leave this to you, goodbye. Hinata Hikaru nodded and signaled Uchiha Fan to leave quickly. Uchiha Fan gritted his teeth and pressed the shoulder of his right arm with his left hand. He stared at Byubi. His eyes were full of unyielding flames. I don't know if I'm thinking, 30 years east of Hidong, 30 years west of Hexi, or something. Hinata Hikari took the first step and retreated quickly. Soon, there was a crackling sound of fighting behind him. By Konoha White Fang vs. Eight Tails Byubi. A battle between two cage-level ninjas was simply not something they could join now. Hinata Hikaru was also very smart and prepared to leave. However, Uchiha Fan was very unwilling. As he jumped, he turned around and saw that his severed arm was being played with by two shadow-level powerhouses like a ball being tossed around. Suddenly, a sense of humiliation filled his heart. He had never been so humiliated as now, damn. The people in Konoha not far away were already speechless. Because the battle between the two shadow-level experts had far exceeded their expectations. If the physical swordsmanship and swordsmanship showdown at the beginning is enough to give a person a pounding. So, now that the two of them are fighting with all their strength, it will be truly shocking. Seeing Hinata Hikaru and Uchiha Fan walking away, Heitake Sakumo, who had deliberately suppressed his strength to prevent it from affecting his companions, let go of his hands and feet. His body, arcs of electricity flashed. Although it seems to be only the second stage of the Thunder Chakra mode, it is not even as good as the covering type Troy. However, Heitake Sakumo used this stage of the model to a superb level. How terrifying would he be if he has already reached the level of Shadow, coupled with the Thunder Escape Chakra mode? That is, in everyone's eyes, there was only crackling lightning and the flashing light of White Fang's sword. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 269. Heitake Sakumo is very strong, and his opponent's Byobi is not far behind either. As a strong person among the young generation of Union Village, Byobi is also proficient in Thunder Escape. As the Kumoyan village's standard blade Unryu sword was swung, streaks of lightning spread out like the stings of bees. That's why he's called the Blue Bee. The two masters who had mastered Lei Dun to a level beyond the reach of ordinary people started a battle that ordinary people could not join. It was clearly an abyss where one could fall down if one was not careful, but Heitake Sakumo and Boai walked around casually, as if they were strolling through the water. After several rounds of fighting, neither of them could do anything to the other. Run, run. Hinata Guan called everyone to retreat from afar. If he didn't leave, if he was taken hostage or something, he would be a real hindrance to Heitake Sakumo. Hinata Hikaru still understands this. Everyone who was shocked by the fight between gods also reacted at this moment. They turned around and ran away. Click. Another ray of light lit up, and a certain object flew into the sky again. It was Uchiha Yafan's arm. I really want to grab the hydrangea. Snapped. Hinata watched as the arm drew a trajectory and then flew towards the side at high speed. Finally, it fell in front of Hinata Hikaru. Hinata was stunned for a moment. This arm, actually flew to her. Of course, there is also the Sharingan held in the palm of the hand. Uchiha Yafan was also stunned for a moment. This scene is very suffocating. When Hinata Hikaru was thinking about picking up his arm and returning it to Uchiha Yafan, the latter reacted immediately, gritted his teeth, and quickly jumped towards her. Because Uchiha Yafan really doesn't know how to describe his current thoughts. There are people who feel like crying without tears, and there are people who look sad and angry. This arm went around half a circle and came back again. But the problem is, it didn't return to his hands, but fell to Hinata Hikaru. The little psycho also stopped and seemed to be thinking about whether to swallow the Sharingan for himself. We must not let her succeed. That's Min. Uchiha Yafan's shouts shook the eardrums. Hinata rolled her eyes. Of course she knew that this arm belonged to Uchiha Yafan, but there was no need to shout so loudly. You scum, I would be kind enough to help you put it away first. Just as Hinata was about to speak, he felt a very terrifying aura chasing after him. No need to think about it, it's naturally Booby. Before Byobi even arrived, the chakra coming from him was already frightening to death. At some point, his body was covered with a layer of bubbling red-tailed beast clothing. Obviously, he is in the same initial borrowing state as the two Akumi. In this situation, the ninja's various abilities will be comprehensively improved, and the combat ability will be extremely strong. I'm afraid, this is also the reason why Heitake Sakumo didn't stop him for a while. In this case, Hinata barely had time to think. She subconsciously picked up Uchiha Yafan's arm and jumped back. And this behavior made Uchiha Yafan even more mistakenly believe that Hinata wanted to swallow the Sharingan alone. He saw Hinata Hikari holding his arms and rising into the air. At this time, Uchiha Yafan also rushed over, and then, bumped into Booby. In other words, he was hit by Booby, who had added the tailed beast clothes buff. No need to think about this collision. Uchiha Yafan suffered broken bones and tendons on the spot. Uchiha Yafan spit out a large mouthful of blood. Although his missing right arm was made of Baiju's arm, his body was not. As a result, Uchiha Yafan, who was supposed to fall to the ground, falling towards the abyss. This unlucky kid. Hinata, who was holding her arm, looked back. She just hates the fact that iron cannot become steel. Why does this Uchiha Yafan like to cause trouble? Isn't it better to just stay here? As a result, I committed suicide. The other Konoha genin who were running away and looking back saw the scene and all exclaimed. Because they watched helplessly as Uchiha Yafan was hit by a car and then fell towards the abyss. But Buledenbai, who knocked away Uchiha Yafan, didn't even look at him, and pounced directly on Hinata Hikaru persistently. Seeing Uchiha Yafan, who was seriously injured and vomiting blood and fell off the cliff, everyone couldn't help but feel sad. Although Uchiha Yafan is a nasty Uchiha. But, after all, he is still a ninja of Konoha. Everyone present could not help but feel sad that the rabbit was dead and the fox was dead. Senju Uto, who narrowed his eyes, didn't think so. He even wanted to laugh. Judging from Uchiha Yafan's various performances, this guy has a certain destiny for the protagonist. Falling off a cliff is nothing. Hinata can come back after falling off a cliff, and maybe Uchiha Yafan can come back too. The most unbelievable thing in the world is falling off a cliff and dying. Of course, if he really dies, it proves that he is not the protagonist. Maybe Uchiha Yafan met some otherworldly master under the cliff, such as the ancestor of the Uchiha clan. The ancestors were surprised to see his skeleton, so they decided to accept him as a disciple or something. No matter how bad he is, he will teach him a skill and so on. By the time they see Uchiha Yafan next time, maybe Uchiha Yafan has been promoted several levels in a row. So, Senju Uto smiled, "Goodbye, Abiya." Senju Uto looked like he had understood this a long time ago, and said that this was all a routine. But the next moment, everyone's different expressions froze. Because Uchiha Yafan, who fell off the cliff, didn't give up. Instead, it throws a ball of steel wire directly. The sound of the wire brushing was very clear, and soon it was wrapped around a raised rock. Uchiha Yafan just survived like this. Konoha genin are ecstatic. From sadness to excitement, there is only such a small distance. Oh, Senju Uto was stunned. He actually forgot about this. The Uchiha clan is very good at throwing ninja tools, not just because of the ninja tools. And the tightrope is also very smooth to play with. This move seems to be based on a variation of the Uchiha clan's unique sea-level secret technique, the Windmill 3 no Big Sword. The steel wire sizzled, and Uchiha Yafan, like Tarzan, swung over and returned to the ground again. Bull! Senju Uto, who was stunned, could only say this. Sure enough, only in this way can he be qualified to compete with Hinata Hikari for the fate of the protagonist. The next moment, everyone exclaimed again. Because Byobi was about to catch up with Hinata Hikari. No matter how fast Hinata Hikari was, it was still not enough to see Byobi wearing a tailed beast costume. "Oh, you want a duck, just tell me if you want it." But Hinata Hikaru calmly gave a strange laugh and threw his arm away. Buledenbai was angry, but there was nothing he could do. His eyes quickly followed his arms. Then, Byobi jumped up suddenly, gave up chasing Hinata, and grabbed the arm instead. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 270. It was naturally impossible for Hinata to hand over her arm to her opponent honestly. She added some stuff to that arm. Moreover, the direction of the throw is an abyss with no foothold. However, Booby pounced. It seems that the Sharingan is more important than anything else. Oh 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 oh. At this moment, Uchiha Yefan's roar came like a tsunami. He actually rushed directly to Booby. As soon as Booby got his arm, he screamed secretly, of course not because he was afraid of Uchiha Yefan. Rather, the arms were glowing with fire and the smell of smoke was overwhelming. That girl from the Hyuga clan actually put several detonating symbols on it. I fell into a trap. Boom. Uchiha Yefan bumped into Booby, who had nowhere to rely on in the air. Before the former had time to be happy, he saw Booby's slightly dazed expression and the fire coming from the detonating talisman on the severed arm. Nani? Uchiha Yefan never expected that Hinata Hikari would put a detonating charm on it. So, where are the eyes? Does she want to destroy the Sharingan as well? No, the eyes were already in Hinata's pocket. In other words, the empty palm of the broken arm is just a trick to attract Booby. Uchiha Yefan spit out a mouthful of old blood and almost died of anger. He tried his best to grab the arm, but in the end he got a Baiju arm that was missing. Boom. The detonator explodes, explodes, explodes. In an instant, the figures of Uchiha Yefan and Buledenbai were shrouded in it. The fire of the detonating talisman ignited, and the flash illuminated the dark canyon. Hinata stared at the scene dumbfounded. She didn't expect that Uchiha Yefan would be so stubborn. Even Booby, who has shadow-level strength, dares to act recklessly. So she really didn't mean to do it. At that time, Uchiha Yefan committed suicide. She was just used to tricking people, so she had an idea and used the waste. Anyway, she couldn't reconnect the arm. Why not use it to trick Booby? Hikari. A loud roar came from the smoke. A figure with smoke rising suddenly fell into the abyss. Obviously, that was Uchiha Yefan. He was very lucky. Even though he was blown up by the detonating talisman, he was not dead yet. He was completely different from a certain naughty kid from the Thousand Hands clan who was unlucky. And his roar came from under the abyss, full of resentment and unwillingness. He believed that this was all a strategy set up by Hinata Hikari. Hinata, you plot against me. The other person looked calmer. Booby, who was wrapped in the tailed beast clothes, did not suffer any damage, but he could no longer hurt Hinata Hikari. He stared straight at Hinata, and then, fell. It was as if the Konoha Hyuga girl who had tricked him was firmly imprinted in his eyes. Hinata Hikaru was sure that Booby would not die after falling, but he might need some luck to climb out of the abyss. If you can't find a way out, you will be trapped there and starve to death. It turned out to be like this in the end. Heitake Sakumo stood next to Hinata Hikaru, watching this scene. The plan is good. Tricked Booby. After all, this is not a place suitable for a decisive battle. But all in all, Hinata did a great job. It was Uchiha Yefan who didn't know what was causing the wind, and went up to deliver him again and again. Heitake Sakumo felt strange about this. He could see Hinata Hikari's various elaborate plans, and in the end even the shadow-level master Eight Tails Jinchuriki Booby was fooled. If it weren't for a pig teammate, the effect would be even better. This is not your fault. Heitake Sakumo touched Hinata's little head and comforted him. He saw Hinata standing there blankly, thinking that she was guilty about Uchiha Yefan. However, the fact is, Hinata saw an astonishing sight through her Byakugan. A black and white yin-yang vegetative person suddenly emerged from a plant under the abyss, and then caught the falling Uchiha Yefan. Although they were hundreds of meters apart, the yin-yang vegetative person seemed to see her. Not even the darkness could stop that malicious gaze. Hey hey! Black Zetsu smiled at Hinata Hikari. Then, Carrying the half-dead body of Uchiha Yafan, he drilled back along the plant. The art of ninja may fly. The figure in black and white disappeared instantly without a trace. Everyone else's view was blocked by darkness. Only Ri Xiangxiao either saw something or didn't. Hinata thought about the scene just now thoughtfully. That black and white reed plant hermaphrodite, who the hell is he? Could it be that Uchiha Yafan's arm has anything to do with that guy? Uchiha Yafan's adventure is black and white intersex people. Gaga, I am Moses Roy. Interesting. Hinata Hikaru said the lines Orochimaru often said. In short, Uchiha Yafan is not dead. Well, you don't have to worry if you know this. The next time we meet, Uchiha Yafan might have grown new arms, greatly improved his skills, and learned new martial arts. What kind of invincible magical power of the infinite Hunyuan of heaven and earth, the unity of yin and yang, and so on. But what happened today, even Hinata Hikari couldn't have imagined. Although it's disgusting, he still has a Sharingan in his pocket. Everyone in Konoha didn't seem to have recovered from the scene of events. They were all stunned and at a loss. Until Heitake Sakumo came to them with Hinata Hikaru and introduced himself. Everyone knew that in front of them was the legendary figure, Konoha White Fang Heitake Sakumage. Oh, you're so awesome. He's so cool and handsome. It's very dangerous here, everyone should go back quickly. Heitake Sakumo glanced around and found that most of the naughty kids present were the second generation of the village. What are they doing? Are you traveling in a group? Oh, even the Sandaime Hokage's son Sarutobi Ryo is here. Those high-level officials are really big-hearted. If it weren't for Hinata Hikaru's wit, a group of people might have fallen over here. Let me escort you for a ride. Heitake Sakumo is actually a very gentle man. Very easy to talk to and no airs. He was afraid that something would happen to others like Uchiha Yafan again, so he decided to personally escort these second-generation ancestors back to the village. Upon hearing that they could go with Konoha White Fang, a group of genin nodded vigorously, eager to leave now. In terms of reputation, Konoha White Fang is second only to the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. It can be said that it is resounding. And everything that happened before still left everyone in a daze. The battle between shadow-level experts was really an eye-opener for them. At the same time, I was also very trembling and excited inside. Many genin were so scared that they almost peed. However, it is worth it to watch the whole process. In the end, what happened to Uchiha Yafan has to be said to be very embarrassing. Hinata Hikari and Namikaze Minato whispered something. There was a hint of thought on Namikaze Minato's handsome face. He felt that this news should not be told to everyone yet. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 271. After looking around, Namikaze Minato said. Although Senior Uchiha Yafan fell off the cliff, he may not necessarily die. When we return to Konoha and ask the Hokage to send Jonin and even Umbu to look for him, there may be another chance. Although everyone felt that Namikaze Minato was too optimistic, they still nodded. Of course, this is all we can do. Only Uchiha Yafan's friend, Narashika 13, looked confused. It seems that he has not yet recovered from the ending of his friend falling off a cliff. It seems that he really regards Uchiha Yafan as his best friend. Afterwards, the group of people came out of here, feeling quite like seeing the light of day again. Soon, everyone returned to Konoha with Konoha White Fang. Along the way, I also learned a lot about him. As well as the name of the enemy ninja who was trapped by Hinata Hikaru and fell off the cliff is the current 8 Tails Jinhuriki Byubi. The life legend of Hinata Hikaru was written once again. That night, everyone returned to Konoha. The first thing is to go to the mission release office and find Elder Mito Minion. It was already dark, but Mito Minion was still working diligently. Until another senior executive who changed his shift, Xiao-chun, came over. She was in charge of the evening. Mito Minion and Koharu, who had transferred to the dormitory, could not help but nod when they saw everyone returning safely. But when I saw Hatake Sakumo with them, I understood something. Previously, Umbu had sent back news from the front line that an Uchiha was missing. Unexpectedly, he was bumped into by Hinata Hikari and others. After hearing that the ninja of the Uchiha clan was dead, Koharu and Mito Kaden still shook their heads regretfully after going to bed. But fortunately, the Sharingan did not fall into the hands of the enemy. Koharu sighed as he went to bed. The Sharingan is an important treasure of the village and must not fall into the hands of outsiders. What about the situation of the eight-tailed Jinchuriki? Mito Kaden asked again. Is such that Hatake Sakumo explained the original situation. Mito Kadoyan and Koharu, who had gone to bed, looked at each other and nodded. I'm afraid the eight-tailed Jinchuriki won't die that easily, but that's not a problem. After a slight pause, the two elders looked at Hinata again. You've done a great job to frustrate the younger generation of Hidden Cloud Village, Hikaru Hinata. The Sharingan also managed to save it with a trick, which is very good. The two senior executives looked at him with relief, and even Koharu, who had always been unfavorable to Hinata Hikari, had softened his stern eyes a lot. Although this kid has brain problems, he is indeed a talent that can be created. The death of Uchiha Yafan's child, we will send Umbu to search, and we will also notify the Uchiha clan. Mito Kadoyan and Koharu, who had transferred to the dormitory, took the initiative to deal with this matter. Both men have a high political sense. There are some things that it is not convenient for Hinata to come forward now. As high-ranking officials in Konoha, Mito Kaden and Koharu both have the right to command Umbu. When the time comes, just say hello to the Sandaime Hokage. Hikaru Hinata, this matter is not your fault, don't take it to heart. Mito Kadoyan comforted Hinata Hikari. But Hinata curled her lips and said, I'm afraid some people think it's all my fault. She was referring to the Uchiha. The Uchiha clan will definitely find trouble with her. After half an hour. Why Uchiha Yafan is dead? The leader of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Akeyama, heard about this at his home. He frowned and said quickly, tell me the details. It's the captain. Uchiha Yashiro quickly repeated the message from the two senior officials. And the other person? The son of Uchiha Akeyama, Uchiha Fugaku. He listened to this incident silently. Hearing Hinata's experience, Uchiha Fugaku felt frightened. Just listening to the description, he could imagine what a magnificent experience it was. When I go out, I meet a strong shadow-level person. He also tricked the opponent with tricks. This is simply not too awesome. Uchiha Fugaku compared his childhood experiences with Hinata Hikari and found Hinata Hikaru's legendary life cannot be replicated at all. For the first time, he had some interest in Hyuga. That girl from the Hyuga clan who was yelled at and killed by a group of clansmen and had brain problems. What kind of person would she be? Uchiha Yafan shouted Hinata Hikaru's name before he died. He must have been murdered by that little psycho. Uchiha Yashiro gritted his teeth and said with a look of hatred. Damn it, Uchiha Yafan and Hinata Hikari have no enmity, but that little mentally ill person wants to harm him, I know. Uchiha Yatsushiro suddenly realized. The day before yesterday, after Uchiha Yafan and others took the mission and left the village, they met him and three of his subordinates as soon as they went out. Because he embarrassed Hinata Hikaru in public, Hikaru Hinata held a grudge, and then took the opportunity to retaliate against Uchiha Yafan. Yes, that must be the case. Uchiha Yashiro's idea was so perfect that even he believed it himself. She will never be forgiven. Uchiha Akeyama stood up and left with Uchiha Yashiro, and several subordinates standing outside the house. Uchiha Fugaku also stood up and followed his father. What is an international superstar duck? Hinata Guang pinched his waist with both hands and leaned back tactically. Hokage building, conference room. In the large conference room, not only were the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, Koharu Tanzania, and Mito Kadini. Even Shimura Danzo came over. There were also a dozen genin and their parents. They are all leaders in charge of various key departments, or patriarchs of a clan. The leader of the intelligence department and the head of the Yamazaka clan. The boss of the logistics department and the leader of the Akimichi clan. The leader of the Jonin class and the head of the Nara clan. All kinds of big guys gathered together. Almost all the leaders of Konoha's important institutions are here. Hinata Hikaru did not show any stage fright when facing the curious looks cast by the big bosses. On the contrary, Hinata Hikaru also wanted to tell them what an international superstar is. 10 minutes later. The door opened and the Umbu announced, "Hokage-sama, the police commander has arrived." The captain of the police force is, of course, Uchiha Akiyama. In the conference room, everyone looked at each other. Uchiha Akiyama is not just the leader of the Uchiha clan. At the same time, he is also the captain of the Uchiha police department. Responsible for commanding the Uchiha clan, and at the same time, has the position of being in charge of punishment. Catching prisoners and guarding prisons are all their responsibilities. It seems that he is doing it for Uchiha Yefan. The big guys came to the same conclusion from each other's eyes. Uchiha Akiyama walked into the conference room and looked around. First he said hello to the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and then went straight to the topic. This mission has helped Hikaru Hinata strengthen our reputation in Konoha. I am very happy and congratulated. Although he said this, Uchiha Akiyama's tone was cold, and there was no hint that he was congratulating Hinata Hikari. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 272. This was also the first time Hinata met Uchiha Akiyama. He is the father of Uchiha Fugaku and the grandfather of future Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke. In terms of appearance, he did look somewhat similar to Uchiha Fugaku standing next to him. Gaga, this is what I, the leader, should do. Hinata smiled slightly, not showing any panic. Because she knew that the real drama was coming next. Just then, Uchiha Akiyama's expression changed. About our clan members, Genin Uchiha Yefan, died in this incident. Hinata Hikari, as the team leader, what do you have to say? Uchiha Akiyama paused. Why did he shout your name before he died? Is it because of the detonating talisman you released that led to the death of Uchiha Yefan? Uchiha Akiyama conducted a series of questioning, with a tone that sounded like an interrogation. As the captain, Hinata Hikari is naturally responsible for the lives of the team members. Many times, if the losses are serious, the captain will be held accountable. Similarly, if the task is not completed, you will be held accountable. What do you think? Hinata Hikaru asked. If you want to add a crime, there is nothing wrong with it. There are naturally reasons why the other party wants to take the blame. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. The key is, you must explain the situation clearly at that time without saying a single word of falsehood. Uchiha Akiyama is worthy of being the captain of the police force. He has interrogated countless prisoners and will certainly not lose his composure just because of Hinata Hikari's rhetorical question. But Hinata Hikaru is not someone to be bullied. You seem to be interrogating me. Even if you are interrogating me, it won't be your turn. Hinata raised his head, looked at the ceiling, and pushed back. To interrogate her, she must first go through the procedures of the Hyuga clan. Hinata Hikari turned his head and saw Hinata Raiten and Hinata Ryaharu sitting in the corner. The two big guys from the Hyuga clan naturally came here. Hinata nodded. No matter what mistakes the Hyuga clan makes, they need to be handed over to the Hyuga clan's internal trial first. This was the right that the Hyuga clan fought for themselves when the village was founded. This Uchiha Akeyama wanted to interrogate Hinata Hikari like a prisoner, which was obviously against the rules. If you think it was this leader who killed Uchiha Yafan, just tell yourself. Uchiha Akeyama blinked, not angry, but continued to say coldly, "Where is my clan's Sharinan now? Here I am." Following the sound, everyone went looking for it. Mito Minion adjusted the glasses on the bridge of his nose, and then took out a small bottle from his arms. Inside, there is a Sharinan soaked in it. Seeing this scene, everyone couldn't help but gasp. The scarlet Namagatama Sharinan circulated in the container, churning slowly. Obviously, that is the Sharinan of the Uchiha clan. This is the first time most people have seen the Sharinan in this form. The Sharinan of the Uchiha clan is usually well preserved and never strays into the wild. They would never allow their people's Sharinan to be obtained by enemy ninjas. Once it happens, there will be no end to it. Seeing that the Sharinan was well preserved, Uchiha Akeyama breathed a sigh of relief. As for the matter of only one, he learned from Heitake Sakumo and other witnesses that only one Sharinan was indeed preserved at that time. Uchiha Kishin turned to look at Hinata Hikaru. "Why did Uchiha Yafan shout your name before he died?" Hinata looked around and found that everyone was looking at her, so Hinata said happily, "Maybe he has a crush on my leader." Cough cough. The serious scene was immediately filled with sounds of vomiting blood and coughing. Even the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen lowered his hat with the word fire written on it to cover up the twitching corners of his mouth. A few veins appeared on Uchiha Akeyama's forehead. He took a deep breath and endured it. Although I had long heard that Hinata was extremely shameless, I didn't realize until I actually saw her that I had underestimated her. Narashika 13. Uchiha Akeyama turned around and looked at Narashika 13, who was standing behind the Nara clan leader. He is present here as one of the witnesses. I hope you can tell us what the situation was like at that time. Narashika 13, who was in a daze at first, looked much better, but his face was still full of gloom. It seems that he is still grieving the loss of his best friend. Then, Narashika 13 recalled it. Before Yafan died, he shouted the name of Riciangguang. His voice was full of unwillingness and anger. Narashizan, who has played with Uchiha Yafan since childhood, can naturally hear the various emotions in Uchiha Yafan's words. Uchiha Akeyama smiled inwardly and thought, "Now I have caught you, you little psycho." "Hikaru Hinata, what do you want to explain?" Uchiha Akeyama asked calmly. He thought that this moment would silence Hinata Hikari. However, Hinata Hikaru would not be framed by him. When Uchiha Yafan comes back, I will confront him face to face. What? As soon as Hinata Hikaru said his words, everyone in the audience was shocked. Waiting for Uchiha Yafan to come back. Everyone present, including Heitake Sakumo, had shocked expressions. Isn't Uchiha Yafan dead? Or, Hinata Hikaru has no excuse and started to think blindly. Cough cough. The third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed and calmed down the scene. "Hikaru Hinata, why do you say that Uchiha Yafan can come back?" He asked the question that everyone present wanted to ask. Hinata nodded. "I saw with my white eyes that Uchiha Yafan fell off the cliff, but he was still alive. He was saved by a black and white yin-yang vegetative man with reeds." Silence. The meeting room was suddenly silent. They all thought that Hinata Hikaru had lost his mind. Return the reed black and white hermaphrodite. That's not how we make up stories. For a while, Whispers began to appear again, and everyone generally did not believe what Hinata said. I can testify to this. Seeing that public opinion was about to tilt toward Uchiha Akeyama, a man stepped forward. It was Hinata Xiao, who was also from the Hyuga clan. Then Uchiha Yafan is indeed not dead. I also saw it with my own eyes. Ri Xiang Xiao threw her head loudly, not afraid of the many looks from around her. So, did Rixiang Xiao really see it or not? Everyone doesn't know. But now that there are witnesses, that matter. Everyone looked at Uchiha Akeyama again. Uchiha Akeyama also looked shocked. He had already made a plan to use Uchiha Yafan's death to get rid of Hinata Hikaru, so that even the step of hiring a killer was eliminated. But who wants to? Uchiha Yafan is not dead. Uchiha Akeyama did not speak, but Uchiha Yashiro behind him could no longer sit still. Hikaru Hinata, are you sure? Uchiha Yashiro, who was originally going to accuse Hinata Mitsuko, was anxiously worried about Uchiha Yafan's life and death. It seems that he is very optimistic about that young descendant of the same race. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 273. Naruto doesn't tell secret words. Hinata Hikari held her little hands behind her back, obviously disdainful of arguing with the other party. Uchiha Yashiro looked a little confused. But as long as Uchiha Yafan lives, everything will be easy to say. Humph. However, Uchiha Kishin snorted coldly. I believe what you said for the time being, but how can you be sure that the hermaphrodite wanted to save Uchiha Yafan instead of murdering him? In other words, what if Uchiha Yafan can't come back? Of course Hinata Hikari cannot guarantee it, but similarly, how can Uchiha Akeyama be sure that the other party is not trying to save Uchiha Yafan? Upon hearing Hinata's rebuttal, Uchiha Akeyama sneered, okay. Eloquent. In this way, Uchiha Yevon became Schrödinger's Uchiha Yevon. Oh, it should be Uchiha Yafan from Black and White Zetsu. Cough cough. Seeing that the situation was tense, Namikaze Minato walked out from behind Hinata Hikari and took a step forward. Lord Kishin. Namikaze Minato first greeted him respectfully. In fact, from the beginning, it was only Uchiha Yafan who had unilateral opinions on classmate Hinata Hikari. Oh, what do you mean? Uchiha Akeyama asked calmly. Soon, Minato Namikaze told the story of how they met Yashiro Uchiha as soon as they left the village that day, and how Yashiro Uchiha acted. The 8th generation of Uchiha used the topic to exalt Uchiha Yafan and belittle Hyuga Hikari. Eventually a conflict broke out between the two. In other words, without Uchiha Yashiro, things might not have evolved into this situation. Uchiha Akeyama looked back at Uchiha Yashiro, and Uchiha Yashiro was immediately frightened. Incompetent bungler. Uchiha Akeyama's eyes clearly said so. That's why, Senior Yafan has always been worried about this, and wants to show off in front of everyone and suppress the limelight of classmate Hinata Hikari. Namikaze Minato looked around, as if he didn't finish his words. So that, in the end, Senior Yafan, as a genin, went to fight against the cage-level master of Kyomagakure village, the 8-tailed Jinchuriki Byubi. Namikaze Minato's voice trailed off at the end. But everyone understands that this is Uchiha Yafan, who is very competitive and very happy about his achievements. He lost one's wits. A genin actually dared to confront an opponent that gave even Heitake Sakumo a headache. Is this crazy? No one thought that Uchiha Yafan would go to such lengths to prove himself. Namikaze Minato smiled gently. A few words diverted everyone's attention. The scene was already in a state of chaos. Obviously, at this moment, everyone no longer blames Hinata Hikari for accidentally blowing up Uchiha Yefan. There is nothing wrong with Hinata's strategy. Throw away the broken arm, draw attention, take the opportunity to detonate the talisman, save the Sharingan, and do it in one go. Being able to perform such an operation under such circumstances, his mind and strength are completely beyond those of his peers, which is worthy of praise. On the contrary, Uchiha Yefan is simply an idiot. Namikaze Minato, you are good or bad? Hinata Hikaru whispered, with a smile on her face. Haha, Hikaru Hinata-san, I just told the truth what I thought. Namikaze Minato scratched his blonde hair and said that we should be kind to others. He always looked at Hinata like this. And when it's time to stand up without hesitation. Lord Kishin. Namikaze Minato took a deep breath and continued. And everyone stopped talking, wanting to see what else Namikaze Minato had to say. Under those circumstances, I think there was nothing wrong with Hinata Hikari-san's reaction. The crowd nodded. And, Hikari-san has always been kind-hearted, even if the Uchiha clan tried to take away Hikari-san's life several times, Hikari-san would always tolerate it. Namikaze Minato was not impatient and told the past events gently. It is clear. He was referring to Uchiha Fire Rock, Uchiha Futaba brother and sister, Uchiha Ryawai and some other Uchiha sidekicks. This sarcasm made Uchiha Akeyama's face burn. Namikaze Minato never used curse words when he cursed people. Even if Senior Uchiha Yefan really doesn't know the severity, I think Hinata Hikari-san can at most teach him a lesson and not kill him, and... Namikaze Minato changed the subject. Senior Uchiha Yefan's strength is really not as good as classmate Hinata Hikaru. Namikaze Minato stopped there. He also said that Uchiha Yefan's provocation was really asking for death. Hinata Hikaru, after fighting against Uchiha Ryawai and Troy, has established his reputation as the strongest genin in Konoha. Among the young generation in Konoha today, Hikaru Hinata is the strongest. Uchiha Akeyama's eyes grew colder. How could he not hear the sarcasm in Namikaze Minato's words? The younger generation of the Uchiha clan has fallen into the hands of Hinata Hikaru again and again. As famous as the Senju clan, the dignified Uchiha. Unexpectedly, even a branch of the Hyuga clan couldn't win. In the conference room, everyone watched the performance of Hinata Hikaru and Namikaze Minato without saying a word. They have already seen Hinata Hikari's arrogant character. Even Uchiha Akeyama dared to confront him. However, the Uchiha clan is indeed too arrogant and domineering, and it's time for someone to teach them a lesson. Obviously, Hikaru Hinata plays this role. But everyone looked at each other, considering Hinata's identity. Although Hikaru Hinata is a branch family member, he is also a disciple of Jiraiya and the disciple of Hiruzen Sarutobi. So, the question arises, is it that Konoha's top management intends to launch Hinata Hikaru to suppress Uchiha? Everyone didn't say anything, but they were all thinking about the thoughts of Konoha's top management, and the more they thought about it, the more they felt that Hinata Hikaru's backstage was very tough. I have sent Umbu to find the whereabouts of Uchiha Yefan's child. At this time, the third-generation Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke. Although what happened to Uchiha Yefan was not caused by Hinata Hikaru, as the captain of this mission, Hinata Hikaru also has a certain responsibility. The third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, looked around and began to make peace. So, I decided to confine Hinata Hikaru for a period of time, and she is not allowed to go out during this period. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a serious look on his face, as if he was not only confining Hinata Hikaru, but was going to sentence her. But everyone present knew that this punishment was just to give Uchiha Akeyama some face, not to embarrass him so much. By the way, let me give an explanation to the Uchiha clan. It's really a credit to Hinata Hikari for repelling the genin team of Kyomagakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen changed the subject and began to rise against the wind. It's also a credit to saving the Uchiha clan's Sharingan. I have clear rewards and punishments, and the rewards will be distributed to Hinata Hikari soon. Okay, everyone who has nothing to do with it can leave now. Let's talk about the meeting of the Second Ninja War. Sarutobi Hiruzen dispersed the idlers, including Hinata Hikari, and walked out of the conference room together. If the chapter is wrong, click here to report it. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version.